People often tell me that when I'm selling, it doesn't feel like I'm selling. It just feels like I'm having a conversation with someone and offering them a solution. And this is what I want for you. And the reasons that I'm able to create that relationship and I'm able to offer those solutions so easily is because I understand the benefits of having and seeking support. And I think this is really important for each of you. Why is having support as an entrepreneur important? Why is having support, mentorship, coaching, why does that matter? And I think sometimes it can almost be this taboo subject, because when we talk about why having support is important, people always think that we're just trying to sell them something, and we can be quite cautious and dubious. So, oh yeah, so this is why I need it, and then buy my stuff. I totally get that that can potentially happen online, but I also think it's important to understand how powerful having the right support is. And then when you are in a situation where people are saying to you, I don't even feel like you're selling anything, I just feel like you're giving me solutions all the time and I love it. You want to be in that situation where selling just becomes this congruent part of the process. Ultimately, let's face it, if you want your business to create success, we need to create an income. When you create an income, you can create a bigger impact and you can really start changing the world. That is the truth. That's what happens. We can really start to influence the world around us when we create a bigger impact and when we have the income to do that. So when you want your business to create success, and ultimately all of you, you're in business because you want to help others, but you also want to help yourself and you want to change your life. And maybe you want to retire your parents or your partner, or you want to be able to go on a nice holiday, you want to treat your friends, you want to, buy a house, you want to be debt free, whatever it might be. Ultimately, you want to make your life better as well as other people's. And this isn't about creating transactions. This is about creating change. So why does having support as an entrepreneur really matter? Ultimately, we always have the option to see things through our own lens and potentially without all of the lens clear, or use someone else's lens that has already been where we are to give us a sharper focus. So when you think about why we need support as an entrepreneur, at every level, by the way, at every level we need support, because the person that we seek support from is always ahead of where we are. So therefore, they're going to see things that right now we haven't even been exposed to yet. They're going to help you and enable you to accelerate your success quicker than you can even foresee it, because it hasn't happened for you yet. And in our subconscious, we can only go so far before our subconscious says, are you sure? I'm not sure about this. Are you ready? Because we haven't done it before. So the limiting beliefs, the self-sabotage, the doubts, the fears, they all come up because in your subconscious, we don't actually have the reality of I've done it to base that next step on. That's why having support matters, because when you have support from someone that has done it, they're going to give you the faith, the experience, the positivity, and the gumption to say you can do it. And once you break through that ceiling, you'll get to that next point. Having support ultimately helps you succeed quicker and smoother and see things that you cannot possibly foresee yourself because you haven't done it yet. It really is that simple. It is that simple. Understanding that we can only go so far with what we know before we need to be exposed to what we don't know to go to the next level. How do we get that exposure? By seeking support. And sometimes that is confused with overconsumption. So rather than seeking support with one or two or even three people, that are your mentors and that you're in their programs or their masterminds, we then just look everywhere. We binge watch YouTube, we go to podcasts and we overconsume. And when you overconsume, what do you do with that? Well, because you've never used it before, you don't actually know. What do you prioritize first? What do you take action on first? What do you sit with first? And then you end up procrastinating and overwhelmed. And there, you're trying to use your own lens, fill it with other perspectives, but then it's got too many perspectives and you're like, well, where am I supposed to be looking? Then we would seek support and someone would be able to say, okay, well, look, this isn't where you're at. This is what I did. This is where I'm at. This is what you could do. And you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I saw it that way. I've just never seen it that way before. And then the light bulb switches on. Seeking support is not just about making an investment. It's about understanding why you are seeking that support. So I say this all the time, actually. Would you work for 3 years to make the next 30 easier? And in that work, in that 3 years, would you invest in being able to ensure that the next 30 become easier for you because you learn what you didn't know before? It's exactly the same when you're seeking support. Do you want to try and do it on your own? Spend more time, more effort, more energy, more overwhelm, more confusion, more mistakes, more troubles, more tests, than if you had the support of someone that's done it that can help weave you through that path so much straighter. Oh, mind that problem. Oh, yeah, you don't want to go there. And just keep helping you from deviating so far out, because it really is that simple. So when I offer my support, I always think to myself, well, I have this as a solution, and I also only ever offer solutions to people and offer programs and courses and packages if it's something that I've mastered myself and I have my own successes from. And I think that's really important. So therefore, I'm so confident in the programs I create, because if you are willing to do the work, that's the most important thing here. If you're an action taker, you do what is necessary, and you have my guidance to steer you in the direction of moving you away from what isn't going to work and helping you see your potential, you are going to create more success. You are going to reach new capacities and, achieve more from your potential, because you are being surrounded by someone that has done it themselves. So when people come to me and say, I really want to be able to leave my full-time job, but, I don't know if it's possible. Well, I've done that. I worked for the first 15 months full-time, 6 till 6, and still built my business. I know what it's like to be tired. I know what it's like to not be able to see your friends. I know what it's like to feel overwhelmed, to be on your phone, even in your breaks, and not be able to see people as much as you want. I know what that sacrifice is like. I've done it. If someone said to me, I really want to have a 10K launch, yeah, I've done that. So I can support you. I really want to launch a membership. I want to launch a program. I want to launch a passive course. I want to start looking at ads. I want to hire a team member. I will only support you in what I've done and things I've done well. I've mastered that. So it's important. Selling to me is not selling. I'm confident in the solutions that I create. So therefore, selling is not a transaction for me. It's a solution. It really is an opportunity for the person that I'm trying to support to make changes in their own life and to see the change and to become the change. You don't know what you don't know. And if the things that you don't know are holding you back from where you want to be, that will continue to be a mismatch. You want to be over here, but you're here and you don't know how to get there. So you keep trying new things and bouncing new ideas and ending up in different directions, and then you end up back here again. We're not going to get to this gap because we don't know how to do it. So therefore, we're trying to use what we know, which has got us so far, to get to the next level, but we don't know how to get there. Do you see what I mean? We need to be exposed to the knowledge that we don't have to help you get to that next level. And when you're in exactly the same situation, if you are here offering a service to someone else and you are selling, launching, promoting, what you're actually doing is providing someone with a solution. And if you're not confident in the solution because you haven't quite mastered it yourself yet, then that's something to work on. But if you are, you need to then really passionately go after that. And when people say, it's about networking, getting out there, exposure, it is. Get yourself visible. Get yourself out there. And this all comes with knowledge. When you have the knowledge, you know what steps to take to help you create more success. For example, I had a one-to-one client and they tried to launch a group program twice before and they hadn't worked. We then worked together, constructed a brand new strategy, and she had 8 people. 8. From 0. It was over a 10K launch, her best yet. And it was because she had knowledge that she didn't have before. And she then said to me, I can now rinse and repeat this and make it bigger and better. Yeah, of course you can, because you've got the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is progress. Knowledge is growth. And sometimes we presume that we can get all of this knowledge from free things, and sometimes we can't. So seeking the right support, having the right support is hugely, hugely pivotal in moving you forward in your business and moving yourself forward. So start to think about that. Where do you need to seek support and where do you need knowledge? And how can you also present yourself to your clients? How can you start selling in a way that is now focused on making... I completely lost my train of thought there. How can you start to focus on supporting your clients with being their solution? And being passionate about that being the solution. How can you do that? How can you, exactly what I'm doing here now and sharing this, how can you then start to put that back into your audience and start to transition into that space and say, do you know what? Yeah, I know how to do that and I can help you and I'm ready to help you. I want to support you. And this is the same for me. It's not about the financial growth. It's about the fact that I know I've got the answers. And effectively, the financial growth comes because I'm so intertwined with what I offer that it becomes an easy process. And I'm super confident in that. So yes, my business continues to grow, but so does my audience, and so does my impact, and so does my passion. So how important is it to seek support? Imperative. You need to be exposed to knowledge that's going to help you move forward, and you need to be able to see things from a different lens that's going to help make your lens so much clearer. And that's what we want. Ultimately, that's what we all want. We don't want to feel like we're spending time doing the wrong things. Why would we want to do that? And if we're not being intentional with how we're showing up in our business, then that potentially is where we could be. And it's where your clients could be. So become the solution for them, become that passion for them, become that answer, become the person that stands in front of them and says, this is the knowledge that you need. And that's why everyone talks about adding value. Adding value is so crucial because you can showcase your strengths. You can showcase a slight little sliver of what you could do with someone if they choose to take that next step and seek that level of valued support with you. So give yourself the opportunity now, and I encourage you to do this, to think about, how are you really solid and confident in being the supporter to your audience? And how intentional are you being with seeking the right support? Because they go hand in hand. If you're expecting clients to come to you, but you aren't investing in the support you need, there's going to be a shortfall there as well. So how can we create a really holistic process of being the supporter to others and seeking the support for yourself, and making that a really, really solid intention for yourself, a solid process? So that's why we all need support. We all need support in as entrepreneurs, because we don't all know everything. And when you do hit your first 10K, 50K, 100K, 250K, you're going to not know how to get to the next level, but someone else has, and they can help you. And that's why it becomes this beautiful, evolving business and this beautiful, evolving world, because we're all needed in a capacity at a different time for someone. And that is so powerful. So give yourself the chance to become part of that evolution, in that support cycle, in that support process for yourself, but also for your clients as well. So I'd love to find out what you're doing to seek support, to be supported, and to support others, and to make that a real focus for how to grow your business, but also how to support your clients in growing theirs as well. So food for thought. I'd love to hear from you in the feedback, in the comments, in the, any questions that you've got, anything you need from me on this, and how you can become someone that is selling through a solution rather than selling to a transaction. So yes, I'm welcoming your comments. I look forward to hearing from you. But I do hope this is helpful. I'm going to be talking about this a lot more, and I can't wait to see you very, very soon.